guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another episode of Grey Man Operations. As you saw from the intro and from the title of this video, we're going to be talking about CANiK. CANiK has sort of taken the world by storm in the past maybe few years, with not only the quality of the pistols, the quality of the triggers, and the affordability of what you get for the money. Recently, myself and Michel were invited to take part in the CANiK Armorers course. Well, I was invited and Michel was invited to film that course, and that's sort of going to form the crux of this video. Now, why I as a content creator would be interested in doing this kind of course is quite simple. The more I know, the more I can share with you guys. So I kind of feel it's more of a responsibility for me to take part in these courses, because I get a lot of questions, I get a lot of DMs about how this works, how that works, and if I have an intricate knowledge of more things like the CANiK pistol, it just means I can share that information more easily with you guys. The course took place in Johannesburg. The guys from CANiK were very kind to fly myself and Michel out to Johannesburg and put us up in an absolutely beautiful hotel. So a huge thank you to David from CANiK, who is the main guy there, as well as the Maslow Hotel. For me personally, this course shows that CANiK are sort of more invested in South Africa. Even if you look at their rugby gun, if you want to call it that, it actually takes quite a lot of red tape to get a manufacturer to produce a limited edition firearm specifically for one country. And all of you know, South Africans, we are rugby crazy, especially at this time. I'm recording this just before the World Cup final, semi-final, excuse me. So it's a big deal for us, and CANiK's desire to push that pistol through in its configuration sort of shows that they are interested in the markets that they are selling. Now, the actual course, first and foremostly, what's going to happen on these courses is you are going to tear the pistol down to its bare minimums. I'm talking about there is nothing on that pistol that can be removed. Massive props to these instructors. They are extremely knowledgeable. They are from Turkey. These are two Turkish guys. One of them is ex-Turkish Special Forces, which gives me a bit more confidence, because from what I know about those guys, if they don't like something, they're not going to get involved with it. That sort of added to the confidence, or sort of showed me the level of confidence CANiK has in their firearms. I did a similar course. I did the Glock Armorers course about a year and a half or 2 years ago, and there are a lot of similarities, but there are also a lot of things about CANiK that are very intelligently designed. And when you start looking at their value proposition, you start realizing this is a really, really well-made pistol at a really, really good price. So basically what happens on these courses is you get divided into two groups. You go and the instructor takes the pistol apart and you do it step by step with him. And then obviously you put it back together. They also have some amazing training devices. They have a cutout pistol, which I thought was tremendous, which is basically a CANiK pistol that has had pieces cut out of it, so you can see the internals of the pistol as you're working on it there. They're airsoft pistols. They are one-to-one replicas, and they have a cutout for an optic. So if you have a spare old crappy optic, or if you just want to buy a really cheap optic that you can put on your pistol so you can practice with airsoft and have an optic on it, so that when you do move over to your real firearm that does have an optic on it, it's not that hard, or it's not that big of a change. Guys, remember, I'm giving away a CANiK Red Dot at the end of October on Patreon. So if you want to join on Patreon, it's the first link in the video description below. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, it's the first comment. So the course is run over 5 days, right? And it was attended by a few hundred people. These people work in the firearm industry in South Africa. They own gun shops, they work in gun shops, that sort of thing. The important thing for you and I as the everyday consumer means that if you now purchase a CANiK, you can go to a gun shop and there's a fairly high certainty you're going to have a CANiK approved armorer in that store. So if you want to make a modification, if there's something you're not sure about, if you have any questions or queries, you're going to be approached, or you're going to have the opportunity to talk to someone who is extremely well trained. At the end of the course, there was some healthy competition where we had a competition to see who could field strip the firearm and put it back together as quickly as possible. I really like that kind of thing. It builds camaraderie, it builds excitement, it also just proves your understanding of the pistol. After doing this course, I was so impressed with the design, the inner workings of the CANiK, that I told Michel that she needs to get herself a CANiK. We have the ball rolling already. She's definitely going to be getting an MC9, and she is going to become part of the channel. And reviewing her journey from not owning a firearm to getting the MC9 to improving her firearm skills from a female perspective. So I think that's really important. And I can almost certainly say probably would not have happened had we not gone on this course. And then lastly, the nice thing, as I said before in my first impressions of CANiK, is that if you want any modifications like a magwell or an elite trigger, there's literally a CANiK South Africa site. It's canikarms.com.co.za. I'll leave it linked down below, where you can go and purchase those things. They are readily available in South Africa. Also, the cool thing is holsters are also now becoming extremely readily available. I'm currently carrying the Southwest holsters, King Cobra for the CANiK TP9 with a Surefire X300. This is a Shinobi Kydex holster for the X300. This is a Shinobi Kydex holster for the TLR1 HL. As far as I'm concerned, and you guys always know, I don't present content for the supplier, I present it for the consumer. What I've seen in terms of value for money, unless you particularly want a particular brand, if you're looking at all the options, especially with the CANiK trigger, and the fact that your CANiK pistols, if you buy one now like the MC9 or even the modern TP9s, come out optic cut already. Right? And as far as I'm concerned, optics are the way to go. And if you get a CANiK optic from the factory, it is pre-zeroed for your CANiK firearm. I don't know what more one can really ask for. And it still comes in cheaper than the competition. I want to say a massive thank you to David and the guys from CANiK for allowing myself and Michel. This is not a publicly available course. It's only for people who work in gun stores. And I hope to see a lot more of them as Michel and I build our CANiK journey. Guys, that is it. Remember, I'm giving away one of those red dots at the end of October on Patreon, so get on that if you want to. I hope you enjoyed this video, something different, because I don't get to do many courses like this, so I was really keen to bring it to you and bring you a lot of B-roll to show you what it's about. That's it, guys. I'll see you soon for a gear review. Have a good week. Be safe, train hard. Cheers. God bless.